Week 15 DFS review. I'm Pete. It's the portfolio review. We got a lot to break down from yesterday. Another massively high scoring slate. Some fun action in the DraftKings and Underdog streets. We also hit a pick 'em bomb that we constructed on Off and On the Clock, so we can check out that. And of course, we can be in our feels about our best ball portfolios that are in shambles. Although we do have two games tonight. We'll also look forward to Monday Night Football, maybe build a couple of pick'ems, tab through some best ball teams, all of that good stuff on the portfolio review.
I suffer from a debilitating condition known as atrophic chokitis.
Peter's one of the greatest depositors I've ever seen.
Trust the process. Let's go.
I got auto match with Levitan. This is bullshit.
If I just go the other way, in that 6v6, I win all the money. All the money.
If I had 150 lineups, I'd win too.
Process over results.
Illuminati make a bitch go crazy. I don't know which one of these my baby. Bust down AP, 35 bullets to your head like KD. Bust it, bitch go bust it. And I had 10 pints with me in Russia.
Hey everyone.
GM all around. Brady's looking forward to a hearty pour. Guess what? Was it last week? Yeah, last week I was in Dallas when I did the portfolio review. I just had my Starbucks coffee. People said I sounded like RFK Jr. with my raspy voice, but today we're good. We got a good night's sleep here. Did not even stay up for the end of that game. I wrote my the Fantasy Life newsletter, wrote my pick six column, shut the laptop, and went to bed. Woke up to another Romeo Doubs touchdown, another Zach Charbonnet touchdown. But yes, we are back in our main battle station here for the portfolio review, and we do have a pot of coffee as well. So yeah, let's get right to that because I need some more coffee here. Without further ado. There we go. I did what I think it was like a couple of weeks ago. I listened back to just the start of the audio. I like to just check it real quick in the app, make sure I posted the right file, all of that stuff. And I did hear the coffee pour in audio form, and I was like, that is a very appealing sound to hear. So I kind of get it. I understand the coffee fetish pour. Sometimes from my end, hearing it from the other side doesn't quite do it for me, but when I see your guys' enthusiasm for the coffee pour, I get it here. GMs all around. What is up, Keith? What is up, Kevin? What is up, Frankie? Kevin's already looking forward to a Jacoby Myers night. Mark Wolf here. Thank you for the super chat. Everyone get to Pete's DK channels and hit the BRs. God bless the Bears off the slate. Did I see you at the top of something, Mark? I could swear I saw your username on Underdog M Wolf. I'm guessing that this is stemming from some kind of win. Let me know. We'll obviously tab through all the Underdog contests in a bit, but I do remember seeing you up there. But thank you very much, sir, for gifting the 10 memberships. I should also mention I did a show with Mathology on Saturday night. For those of you who don't know Mathology, he had a sixth place finish in the Dog Bowl, member of the Deposit Kingdom. You guys have seen him on the world's fastest slow draft streams. Also had the #1 regular season team in BBM. I had him on After Dark. Generally, those are tiered for best ball value hounds, tier and higher. But because everyone's been gifting memberships and the way YouTube defaults to the lowest membership tier, I made that available to anyone who's a YouTube member. So if you have a YouTube membership of any level, you can go watch that show with Mathology on Saturday night. And he was dialed in. One of the pick'ems we built almost hit. We had a mega slide on Josh Allen, a mega slide on Jahmyr Gibbs receiving, but then it had Amari Cooper who bageled, which was insane. All right. Look at this. We got some people in the chat who had some big hits yesterday. Judson here had a big week, won the 150K fair catch single entry for 15K. Good shit, man. Congratulations. Dude, yeah, the Sam Howell experience couldn't keep you intrigued. No, I needed sleep. Sam Howell couldn't keep me up. What is up to Copper Prices, who's also coming off of back-to-back big weeks, had a big BR finish last week. And then what did you have? Was it Goal Line Stand? I think second in the Goal Line Stand for 10K. Congratulations here. Ransack is looking for Brock Bowers to go burr tonight. From your lips, to God's ears, brother, from your lips to God's ears. That would be fun. That would be fun. I actually haven't heard an update on Mathology's team. It is going to be tough to advance teams this week. I mean, you really had to have a Mike Evans, a Devontae Adams, a Brian Thomas Jr. Obviously, the slate this week isn't over yet, but it is pacing to be one of those, like, you need a couple guys. You need a couple of those guys. Obviously, Josh Allen would be in the mix. So, yeah, we can tab through some advancing teams in a little bit. GM. Jonathan's going to the Bears-Vikings game tonight. That sounds like a fun time. Good stuff. All right, since we have a lot of ground to cover, if you guys are somehow new to the portfolio review at this point in the season, we always start with our DraftKings lineup reviews. I played the power sweep again this week. I know it's blasphemous. I've been chasing a victory in the SPY, but because I like playing 3 lineups and because I'm often short on time on Sundays, I've enjoyed being able to just sim for a specific contest and then look at lineups. What was happening to me when I was playing the SPY, the red zone, is like there were different size contests and I was having to like sim different lineups, and then I'd just be like, fuck it. And I wasn't playing as well as I could. So I was like, all right, let's just focus on a single contest here. That will, save me a little bit of time. So if you're upset that I'm not in the SPY streets, that's why. But I can't imagine being that upset that I'm not in the SPY. But who knows? People get upset about really random things. Had one okay lineup yesterday. Liked my teams, except for one that I really don't want to talk about because I said I wouldn't do it again, and I did it again. My best lineup that did cash. This is in the Deposit Kingdom. I had the same 3 lineups in there, but let me head over to the power sweep here. I had a Jared Goff team. This one was with Jameson Williams and Sam Laporta. I had a Mon-Ra on another team. Didn't do the Giga stack, which I should have done. This team cashed with sub 10 points from both of my main running backs here. So I'll read off the full team here with the ownership percentages for the audio listeners. Had Jared Goff at 4.8%, stacked with Jameson Williams at 9.8% and Sam Laporta at 6.3%. I played Derrick Henry at 18.4%, Chuba Hubbard chalk at 43.5%, had the one-off Mike Evans at 4.9%, Calvin Ridley at 12%, Akins at 6.8%, and Cardinals D at 7.7%. So pretty contrarian lineup here by the ownership percentages. This was actually one of the ones that graded out best in the solver sims when I was looking. And I mentioned it on the cram yesterday that I wanted to be pretty concentrated on a few game environments. There was basically 4 games that I was interested in, and then 3 of them made the cut. It was Bills and why can't I talk? Bills and Lions. It was Dolphins and Texans, and then Cardinals and Patriots. So ended up picking stacks from those 3 games. A little unfortunate not to have the pieces come together. Obviously, having a Mon-Ra on this team would have done wonders there, but I did like playing this Goff stack through the cheaper pieces here. So this team scores 153.36. Do get a little min cash here. This other team is disappointing because it wasted monster scores from Amon-Ra and Brian Thomas. This was going to be the Kyler Murray stack. This was one of my favorite plays on the week. And you can see here, Kyler actually came in lower than his projected ownership, which makes me feel a lot better about the play. When we were looking at it on the cram yesterday, he was projected to be 15, 16% in small field, in mid-stake stuff. So feel good about getting him at 10%. I'll read off the full lineup here. It was Kyler Murray at 10%, to Marvin Harrison at 13.3%, and Trey McBride at 13%. Again, I thought all of those, well, specifically McBride, I thought McBride was going to be higher owned than that as well. Not the case there. Doesn't matter because the stack doesn't get home. McBride does fine, 17 points. They tried to give him the Make-A-Wish shovel pass touchdown, couldn't even score that. Marvin Harrison, bagels. They did throw him a pretty nice fade in the end zone that he almost came down with, but whatever. Brian Robinson Jr. in this lineup at 26%. That doesn't get home. Isaiah Pacheco. This was one of my BR gems, one of my kind of pivot plays I liked at the running back position. That did not work out at 2%. This does have Amon-Ra St. Brown at 15.2%, Brian Thomas Jr. at 8.9%. Those obviously hit in a massive way. And then Hunter Henry as my bring back here at 4.7%, Dolphins defense, 2.2%. So again, one of those lineups, felt good getting on some of these high ceiling wide receivers that the field wasn't jamming. Brian Thomas Jr., Mike Evans in that other lineup just couldn't get all of the pieces to come together. And I really don't want to look at this last lineup. I said I wasn't going to do it to myself. I said I swore off the Houston Texans, that I wasn't going to do it. I've said on multiple shows over the past week or so, no team tilts me more than this Houston Texans. They are awful. They are absolutely awful. Every other play is either a penalty or a CJ Stroud sack. But I was sitting here and we were all getting ourselves excited about this Dolphins and Texans game. And I said to myself, if this stat goes off for the first time all year and I don't have it, I will lose my goddamn mind. So I literally FOMO'd into playing a CJ Stroud stack. It gets even better though. I didn't even play Nico Collins with it. I played the cheap version. To be fair, when I was simming this out, I was not getting any Nico Collins in the best CJ Stroud lineups, but whatever. No excuses. Play like a champion. This was a dog shit lineup. I'll read it off. This is just like the equivalent of just rubbing my face in shit, but let's do it. Look at all these snowflakes. CJ Stroud, 3.8%, to Tank Dell, 4.6%, Dalton Schultz, 11.4%. Nailed the running backs on this one. Jahmyr Gibbs, at 13.6%, James Conner at 18%. This one also had Jamar Chase, had Jalen Waddle, who got hurt and had a snowflake. And then Jake Ferguson, another one of my plays I liked, a good bit there in the flex, and then Jets defense. So just a complete disaster. Stroud scores 12, Waddle 0, Dell 6, Schultz 3. And again, you see like the mixing and matching, it's like I had Gibbs and Connor on this team. I had the BTJ and the Evans on the other, just couldn't get the pieces to come together. But just no excuses for playing this awful, awful team. I hate the Texans. I am generally pretty unemotional about this kind of stuff. And something about the Texans makes my blood boil. It just absolutely, I'm just Xing them out. I'm just Xing them out for the rest of the year. I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. Even the Tua side flopped as well. 20-12 there. Only Jonnu Smith gets there. Is there a better suck out king this year than Jonnu Smith? I swear every single game he's doing nothing. And then at the last second, it's like, oh, there's 4 Jonnu catches and a touchdown. And he's like the best, tight end on the slate. Fucking Jonnu. Let's see what won the power sweep here. Oh, of course, it was Chipotle Addict. I think is this the exact same lineup that won him the $2.5 million live final? I think it might be. This is some sick shit because this is like old school DFS. This is the rip it in, the double stack with the double bring back here. Pretty crazy. Aaron Rodgers to Adams and Wilson. You get Brian Thomas Jr. and the Bretton Strange bring back. Play Chase Brown, Rico Dowdle, James Conner, Cardinals defense. Easy game. Chipotle brothers stay winning. I stay depositing. Unreal. Yes, Nico was okay. But I don't even think he paid because he had the 2 touchdowns. But how many yards did Nico even have yesterday? Because I didn't see him on any winning lineups. Dude, Nico, look at this. This is how you know it's down bad. When you go to this little box score on Google here, and you see receiving yards, and Joe Mixon is here and not Nico. 5 receptions for 33 yards. So yeah, Nico had the 2 touchdowns, but this is like the Terry McLaurin line, in those games where he has, 2 touchdowns, 34 yards, and no monster score. I mean, this is what, 12, let's do some math, 14. It's like 16 underdog points on a week when a bunch of guys went for 30. Not going to cut it, Nico. Not going to cut it, Texans. All right, that was painful. Let's try to celebrate some people instead of looking at my crappy DraftKings lineups. Let's see here. Let's check out the Deposit Kingdom contest. We had J Soul 32 here. Take it down. As I mentioned on a few shows this week, we had to make the Deposit Kingdom contest smaller. interest in DFS, bankrolls, everything is shrinking at this time of the year, down to 800 entries, though we did fill this. So thank you. We can probably keep this at 800 for week 16. But congrats to J Soul here. Had a pretty fun line. I love this lineup because this was like, what if the same thing with Josh Allen and a double bring back just hits again, right? Last week, if you had Josh Allen with Kyron Williams and Puka Nacua, you were cooking with gas. And so J Soul goes, I'm going to play Josh Allen, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Sam Laporta. I'm going to, and Amari Cooper. So he did have the Amari Cooper. I now saw multiple people, and we'll look at someone tagged me on Twitter, won the SPY with a bagel from Amari Cooper. I'll pull that up in a second, but right now we're looking at J Soul here. Had Rico. Of course, this is what does it, right? You get the Devontae Adams, Brian Thomas. If you had any kind of two of Devontae, Brian Thomas, and Mike Evans, you were sitting pretty there. Stone Smart chalk at 32.4%. Cowboys defense at 2,800 scores 15. That was a nice little play there. 216.98 points, runs away with it in this contest. Incredible stuff there. It looks like earlier too, I missed a couple other gifted memberships. Randy here gifted 20. Thank you, my man. Very nice of you. Star Kindler as well, fresh off of his weekly winners dub in week 14. Appreciate all of you guys there. Thank you so much for gifting out those memberships. I do want to just go to my Twitter real quick to find that guy who won the SPY. See if I can, I retweeted it last night. Yeah, so this guy sends me a message, says he's been following along with the portfolio review for years, and like me has been chasing the SPY. Username Aim High takes it down with the Aaron Rodgers stack. Although no Garrett Wilson, just Aaron Rodgers to Devontae Adams, brings it back with Brian Thomas. Also gets in Amon-Ra, James Conner, Chuba, Amari Cooper, Broncos defense. Broncos defense, a sick play there. The Colts, just the dumbest team in football, just giving away, pick sixes like they're candy on Halloween. But yeah, just incredible stuff to think you could win the SPY with no Josh Allen and a 0 from Amari Cooper. What a crazy game we play. What an absolutely crazy game we play. But congratulations to, this is Randy. Sorry. Now I'm piecing it together. This is Randy. You are Aim High. You are the SPY champ, $100,000 richer with an Amari Cooper bagel. You know what you should do? Everyone always, it's like you win a big tournament, so you get a jersey of one of the players in your lineup. The temptation is going to be to get Devontae Adams, jersey, something like that. You have to get an Amari Cooper Bills jersey. That's what you have to do. And what you should do is get a custom one. You should get a number 0 and then Cooper Bills jersey to commemorate your SPY win. I think that's what you should do. Yeah, there we go. Amari 0 jerseys. Randy's in. Randy, if you do that, please send us a photo of that. That's the way to do it. Thank you, Trev. Look at everybody's coming out of the woodwork. Haven't seen this username. Go collect. I shipped with a Cooper 0 yesterday, 222.98. Honestly, like jokes aside, it is like the power of correlation, right? Correlation gets you on these plays. Like if you had Amari Cooper, you probably had Josh Allen, or you had it in a mini correlation with Amon-Ra St. Brown opposite here. And you can survive it, right? Like if your quarterback drops 40 and it gets you on an Amon-Ra, Jahmyr Gibbs bring back, even with the Amari bagel, you can live with that. DFS is about finding those nuke games, not necessarily floor production. And I think that Amari score certainly bears that out. Let's take a look at a couple other Deposit Kingdom lineups up here. Tavius had the Aaron Rodgers to Devontae Adams with the Brian Thomas bring back. Obviously, that just ended up being such a dominant stack. To have a $5,400 Rodgers go for 30. Adams drops 45. Brian Thomas drops 35. Wild stuff. Also, the fact that Devontae Adams had a 0 at halftime. I don't know if you guys saw this. 0 receptions, 0 fantasy points. This dude dropped 45.8 points in a half. That's absurd shit. Adam Thielen, 10.10, Stone Smart 9. The James Conner ended up being a really, really solid play, obviously. There was that, 12-point swing, right? 6 points would have gone to McBride on that shovel pass, didn't get in, and they're like, all right, we tried our Make-A-Wish touchdown. James Conner, punch it in now. Ravens defense here scores 6. We'll get to the pick'ems, but just since we're talking about Adams now, I do have to pull up that pick'em slider we built on Off and On the Clock. So we basically, we knew we wanted to play Brian Thomas receiving yard slide. So we slid that to 99.5. And then we were trying to kind of wrestle. Do we want to do something with Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams? I said, let's just split it. Then we decided, how do we want to play these two guys? We played Garrett Wilson through a reception slide. That obviously massively failed. But we played Devontae Adams with 2 TDs. So this was a roller coaster, right? Because he did have that first TD there, and they actually overturned it because they said he stepped out or didn't quite receive it. Then they immediately go back to him with the fade at the goal line. He scores that. And then later in the game, they throw it up on red zone as Devontae Adams is getting loose for that big touchdown. So that was a massive slide to hit here. I had the same amount as John on it, the $25 that turned into about $1,300 there. So feels good. I've been in my slider era as far as underdog pick'ems, and it means you're not going to win quite as frequently, but when you do win, it's pretty euphoric. So make sure you guys are watching Off and On the Clock. That's every Friday, 2:30 p.m. Eastern. Do that show with the Badge Bros, and we're always cooking up some fun pick'ems in addition to breaking down Battle Royale strategy for the slate. Are we talking about playoffs? I am not like ready to mentally move on to playoff basketball. Luckily for you, my buddies Davis and Pat Crane, and plenty of you guys are in the playoff basketball streets. I'm not there yet. My goal, I am still here to win BR. That is my goal. I only have a couple more cracks at it. I have week 16. I have week 17. Week 18, I'm cash game grinder. I ain't playing no fucking tournaments in week 18. And then maybe divisional round weekend, we'll get another pretty good BR. I got like 2 to 3 cracks at it. I am hyper-focused. At winning BR. I will turn over the mental pages, turn over the leaf to playoff basketball eventually, but I'm just not there yet, guys. I'm still trying to wring out every last bit of juice that this regular season has. I will join you guys all in the playoff basketball streets shortly. I promise. All right. Flynn here, 5858 had the Josh Allen team. Is this a naked Josh Allen? Naked Josh Allen, but the Amon-Ra St. Brown bring back. Derrick Henry, Chase Brown, Devontae Adams, De'Ami Brown, Brenton Strange, Stone Smart. Wow. Look at this. The double punt tight end. You pay $5,100 for your 2 tight ends that score 27.3 points, and you ship because you have Josh Allen, Amon-Ra, and Devontae Adams. Crazy. We had Marulo here, also had an Allen team, but had Gibbs and Evans and Devontae Adams. I mean, again, just illustrates yesterday was a day about spike weeks. Josh Allen, 44, Gibbs, 28.4, Evans, 39.9, Devontae Adams, 45.8, and the rest of this lineup is nothing special. 6.7 snowflake from Henry, 0 from the Browns defense, 6 from De'Ami Brown, but you get 3 or 4 of those 40 burgers and you are cooking. So congratulations there. My guy, Steve B. I don't know which Steve this is. I literally can't keep him straight anymore. There's 19 Steves. One of them's old, the other kind of old. One of them was on the stream. One of them sent me an email. One of them won some other contest. I can't keep track of them, but congratulations to all the Steves. I think you guys should all collectively pool your winnings, and that there's just a giant Steve pool, and that when one Steve wins, you all win. Congratulations, though, to this specific Steve B1164. Had a Lamar Jackson lineup. I think I saw a post in the Ship Chasing Discord last night that Lamar Jackson went from having like one of the greatest or one of the highest scoring fantasy quarterback weeks of the year to being the QB3 on this slate because of what Josh Allen and Jared Goff did in that last game there. So crazy to see the Lamar Jackson teams get chased down both here and in BR, but pretty nice lineup here. Again, speaking to the power of correlation, you get the 37 from Lamar Jackson and you paid a Zay Flowers tax, 11.3. You paid a Mark Andrews tax, 10.4 points. How did you not know to play Justice Hill, Rashad Bateman, and Devontae Walker? Devontae Walker. Can you believe that? The ultimate slappy best ball pick. I thought for sure that thing was a 0. I think one of my advancing teams has Devontae Walker on it, just as the Lord intended. Week 15 suck out there. Congratulations to Steve. A Speller here had a Rodgers team with Adams and Brian Thomas. Very common stack we're seeing pop up here. Lundar, I recognize, had the Rodgers, Adams, BTJ. Geez, this is everyone has that. Okay, here's a Rodgers double without the BTJ bring back. Had the Bretton Strange bring back. HSV here, Lamar Jackson. Is that naked Lamar Jackson? Okay. Barkley, Connor, McMillan. First mention of McMillan here in the leaderboard. CeeDee Lamb. I thought CeeDee Lamb was giving me the blade yesterday. I was really underweight him in BR. And when he was popping off, I was like, oh God. Both kind of him and McLaurin. I did have some McLaurin with Jaden Daniels, but I was pretty light on Lamb. But it didn't really matter when Brian Thomas, Adams, and Evans all went for even more points. Nice lineup there. And then rounding out the top 10, the body spill with another Josh Allen lineup. This one to Khalil Shakur. No Detroit bring back, but again, gets the Evans 40 burger there and 33 from James Conner. So congratulations to our Deposit Kingdom top 10 finishers. See some familiar names just outside here. My guy, Matty G, in 11th place. Big Marley down here in 20th. All of that good stuff. Yeah, someone in the cram was touting Jeremy Rucker yesterday, and I didn't even mind it, right? Like, my thought is generally the punt tight end super chalk is like the most fragile chalk on the site, maybe outside of a 3K punt wide receiver. But yeah, ended up being solid. 5 for 50 at 2,600. You'll take that. But to the Rucker thing, I thought those pivots to Akins, to Rucker, you know, if you're going to punt it off, I thought Jawan Jennings, I obviously like Ferguson. Just making that slight pivot off the chalk, I think is always pretty smart there. No pun intended, but the smart with 2 T's slappies get home with 9 points yesterday. All right. I think that's about good for DraftKings. Let's head over to Battle Royale. I had not a good day, but not like a disastrous day here. Let's pull up the results and I can get the actual accounting in here. Let's see. So I had like negative 50% ROI. I had about 2K in play, a little less than that. I think like 1,700 returned, about 1,000. So nothing too particularly exciting to write home about. I did have a team charging late in the BR, and I was tilting that Kincaid touchdown that was called back because I had this was my best team. I had a Josh Allen, Joe Mixon, James Conner, Mike Evans, Devontae Adams, Dalton Kincaid team. So I was like, okay, going in late, obviously I know I'm dead for first, a long time coming here, having Mixon, having only 8 points. But then you're sitting here and it's like, man, Evans is going off. Josh Allen's going off. James Conner's going off. I was like, oh, maybe a Josh Allen to Dalton Kincaid thing would make things interesting. So yeah, that would have been what? 10, 11 extra points gets me up to 165. Maybe obviously other teams would move up with the Allen stuff too. So who knows? Wouldn't have even been much, but that was my best team there. I did make or not make the same mistake as I did last week. I had more Josh Allen this week, which obviously bubbled up some of my teams here. But shout out to Thetheatre, who takes down first. I was kind of eyeing the top of the BR leaderboard yesterday afternoon, and there was a lot of movement up here. I feel like every time I checked, someone else was in first place, which makes sense because there was just so much scoring. But here is the team you needed to take it down. And again, it looks a lot like, last week. Obviously, last week you had the Josh Allen with the two Vikings receivers take it down, but the Josh Allen with the double bring back. Josh Allen scores 41, Gibbs drops 25.9, Laporta scores 14.6, and then nails those 3 one-offs you needed. James Conner, 28, Adams, 38, Mike Evans, 32. So very sick, logical lineup here. And this was a week there were so many landmines in round 1, right? Derrick Henry, 101, landmine. Barkley, landmine. Nico, more or less, a landmine. You basically needed Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Allen. Those were the picks you needed to get on. So kind of the Allen at 4 and then Gibbs at 9 was a really nice way to sidestep that chalk, because you needed to get around all of those plays that failed. You needed to get past the Dolphins guys that failed there. So yeah, very strong team here. Then comes back and grabs, let's see. Yeah, took Laporta early, took Laporta at 16. And again, shows you how if you can shuffle up ADP on some of your builds to avoid some of the chalk landmines, that can really position you for success. Had Adams at pick 28, Evans at 33, and then, Connor a little early there too, ahead of ADP at 21. So Laporta was really the one that helped push off of some of those landmines. And it's crazy, like in BR conversation, plays like CeeDee Lamb and Terry McLaurin, who had really good games, are landmines by definition in the big BR, because a landmine is anything that prevents you from getting to one of these guys who goes for 30 plus, the had to have guys. And again, that's something that's always in my head as I do these BRs, is like, we get so overconfident in certain pockets of the draft that sometimes we forget there are guys capable of scoring 30 after pick 30 or after pick 25. And so this is almost an extension of scrolling down. It's not necessarily looking for an unowned guy, but looking to get out of the same pockets of ADP that anyone drafting off of ADP is going to be funneled to over and over again. Because most people drafting this team have a CeeDee Lamb, a Cortland Sutton, a Terry McLaurin in this range, and they just went a little bit further down to Adams and Evans there. And the Laporta kind of tight end pick really set them up for a more unique path in drafting. So good stuff from the theater there. I believe this is our Mark in the chat, right? I knew I saw your name somewhere, Mark. Jared Goff, Chase Brown, James Conner, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Devontae Adams, Sam Laporta. So this one is a lineup that is very logical, a lineup you could tell yourself, hey, I could have drafted that. Jared Goff double stack to Amon-Ra and Laporta. Chase Brown, one of the other non-landmines there at the top, scores 24.8. James Conner, 28.8. And then, of course, Adams here. So, congrats, Mark, there. Mark always comments on my Deposit Kingdom videos where I do BR strategy. And I always ask, what are your sleepers? And Mark every week says Chicago Bears stacks. And I literally replied to him and I was like, they're not on the main slate this week. And lo and behold, the 1 week Chicago isn't on the main slate, Mark finishes in 4th place for 5K here. So really strong team, Mark. Congratulations on the nice BR finish. Pecan here, who I believe took down, was it the DraftKings Millie the year that Liam won BBM2? I think that was it. I think he took it down. That was the Najee Harris, like 90% exposure year. And I believe he went to high school with Eric Bimefor. I can't keep track of all the Pequant lore here, but congratulations on a 5th place finish. Had the swap from David Njoku to Sam Laporta. That works out well. Ends up getting the double bring back on the swap. Josh Allen, Gibbs, Laporta, Evans, Adams, Chase Brown. Yes, Felix. That's who it is. Congrats, Felix, on that. There you are in the chat. Nice score there. Any other friends and family up here near the top? I don't think so. So congratulations. Oh, there's our friend Davis Maddox. Oh, I think I did see Davis tilting this. So Davis finishes in 31st. He was tilting that he had Travis Kelce on a Jared Goff, Amon-Ra team. Don't beat yourself up. Davis. You got to click a chief. One chief in every draft, bro. Trust me, I was tilting with you with my Isaiah Pacheco scroll downs, flaming out a bunch of lineups. Congratulations to Davis, though, there. All right, let's poke around. I did wiggle into a cash into bomb. I did have a couple Jared Goff teams. That was something I wanted. Like Davis, I fell prey to the Travis Kelce click into bomb. Jared Goff, Gibbs, Amon-Ra, had James Conner on this, which was good. But man, I was really mixing. So like you can look at my DeBomb teams. This one, I had one that had Evans. I had one that had Adams. Had one that had Brian Thomas. Like these were all some of my favorite, wide receiver clicks. This one was the worst of them, obviously, because it was Chase and Harrison. But it's just like, man, I was basically handpicking one of them with an early wide receiver. So it's like Thomas with Tyreek, Adams with Nico, Evans with Nico, and then Ridley with Amon-Ra. So just unfortunate to not have the right guy on this one, right? It's like I was rotating through my scrolls there. If it's BTJ, if it's Adams, if it's Evans there, and that's an extra 25 points. I would rather not do the math. Probably a top 5 finish there. But we'll take the cash to break even into bomb. Maloney takes it down with a Josh Allen, Jahmyr Gibbs team, James Conner, CeeDee Lamb, Adams, Jonnu Smith. Nice team there. See our guy Roto Run here. Had the Lamar, Henry, Andrews team. Man, God, Derrick Henry. Again, the power of correlation. Clicking Derrick Henry gets you to clicking Lamar Jackson. And then John nails the 2 late wide receivers there with Adams and Mike Evans. All right, I need some more coffee. We'll keep looking through some of these lineups. Let's take a look at the Deposit Kingdom contest here. Awood827. I recognize that username. If you're in the chat, let us know. Awood here, 174.78 points. This is a monster team. I hate that I always do this. I can't help myself. I really can't help myself. How would this have fared? 174. Oh God. Okay. Yeah. This would have been. All right, so it would have been just fringe top 10. All right, that's actually not that bad. It just looked really hot when I clicked it here. Josh Allen, 41.28 points. Chase Brown, James Conner, Devontae Adams, Brian Thomas Jr., Sam Laporta. This is an awesome lineup. Just Josh Allen, play the other tight end in the bring back. You play the Devontae Adams, Brian Thomas mini correlation. Like, you know what? We always talk about these correlations and speeding the game up and all of these things that sound nice when we're thinking about it. It's nice to fucking see it hit, right? Was there a clearer thesis than a mini correlation speeding the game up than Brian Thomas and Devontae Adams going back and forth there? And the irony being that Brian Thomas was more of the PPR merchant yesterday, and Devontae Adams was the guy who had the long touchdown. But nice to see a plan come together there. And then Chase Brown and James Conner, 2 nice running back picks. Congrats to Awood there. J Wall here took second, had the 3 wide receiver team here. Yesterday would have been a very good day to lean into 3 wide receiver builds. I certainly did not have enough. I probably say like 2 out of 10 of every one of my BR lineups was a 3 wide receiver build. Probably should have been more. But Josh Allen, James Conner, Amon-Ra, CeeDee Lamb, Mike Evans, Jonnu Smith. The Piss Boys are back. What a week for the Piss Boys. The revenge of the wide receivers. Barkley and Henry flop. Adams, Evans, Brian Thomas Jr., Amon-Ra St. Brown, CeeDee Lamb, Terry McLaurin, Nico scores 2 tutties. Let's see here. QUTGNT 25 in 3rd place with an Allen, Brown, Conner, Lamb, Adams, Laporta team. Can we get any non-Goff or Allen teams up here? It would have been tough. I guess you probably would have needed a Rodgers. Here's a Goff, Gibbs, Amon-Ra, Brian Robinson Jr., Devontae Adams, Jonnu Smith. There's a Jared Goff. Let's see if we can find our first non-Josh Allen or Jared Goff. How far do you think we have to go down? We're still clicking. We're to 13th. Okay, there's a Lamar in 13th place. Lamar, Barkley, Connor, Amon-Ra, Adams, and Laporta. There were multiple ways you could win at tight end yesterday, which is nice. I like those slates where there's multiple paths at tight end. You could have won with, with McBride, with Laporta, with Jonnu. There were ways to skirt by. That was actually kind of an under the radar thing from yesterday, just because there were so many big scores. But that Jalen Hurts double stack hit pretty hard. Both Devontae Smith and AJ Brown had big games. Obviously, it's not competing with like the Aaron Rodgers double stack, and you kind of have to be perfect. And those guys weren't scoring as many points as Evans and Adams and Amon-Ra. But a pretty good day for the Eagles passing game yesterday as well. Yeah, let's go check this out. Let's see. Goal line stand here. Mike C. Is Mike C in the chat? Sorry, I'm trying to catch up on the chat here. Nick, I thought you took down fullback diver. We'll get to it. Are you misremembering? Because I'm looking at the goal line stand right now, Nick, and I don't see your username. Mike C took down goal line stand. These are the 12-person drafts, if you guys aren't familiar. So got to get a little deeper in the player pool here. But you'll notice like this team, other than Bucky Irving, looks a lot like the winning lineups in the six-mans. Jared Goff, 41 points. Amon-Ra, 30 points. Laporta, 14. You get a James Cook bring back. You get the scroll down Bucky at 66 when it was looking shaky for him playing. And also get the swap equity there if he doesn't go. And then Devontae Adams in here as well. So monster team. And then also, of course, to our guy Copper Prices, who's on a heater. Last week had a 10K hit in the BR. Hits for 10K here in second place. Again, a lineup outside of Pollard that looks a lot like the winning BR lineups. Goff, Connor, Amon-Ra, Devontae Adams, Sam Laporta. The Devontae Adams price in the 12 persons was wild. Pick 34 is crazy there. And then Pollard, it looks like that was the meta yesterday, right? The running backs everyone was really scared of because they weren't practicing. Bucky, Tony Pollard, did they have monster games? No. But do you need a monster game from them with your final pick at pick 58 here for Pollard and pick 66 for Bucky? No, you can definitely survive that. Jewish McCaffrey here. I saw him tilting this. I would have been tilting that as well. You'll notice here 9.6 points from Jonathan Taylor, who fumbled the ball as he was going across the goal line. I don't know if you guys saw the screenshot of this. I posted a tweet of it. I mean, this is some of the sickest shit you'll ever see. You see the pylon there? This did not result in 6 points. I generally don't do like the boomer, like shaking my fist, but there's like nothing more inexcusable than these guys just not getting across the end zone. I feel like it happens like 10 times a year. They should all just collectively, if I was a coach, I'd be like, let's make a bit about this. Let's make a bit where we just hold the ball so tight and we walk all the way to the end of the red zone. And then we set the ball down once we're a full 8 feet past the pylon. How does this keep happening? How? Like, we need to ingrain in these players like some kind of celebration that includes setting the ball down at the back of the end zone. Unreal stuff there. JMC, feel free to send your loss invoice for what would it have been? What kind of swing is that? Just an 18K. Send an 18K invoice there to Jonathan Taylor. All right, let me see. I think Nick took down the fullback dive. Nick took down the fullback dive for 5K, had 170 points. Nick was at the Dog Bowl last week and had a Josh Allen team and then said, let's run it back with Josh Allen again, who says no. Also a 3 wide receiver team, Josh Allen, Amon-Ra, bring back. First time seeing T. Higgins on a winning team there. Again, part of that like Cortland Sutton, Terry McLaurin, CeeDee Lamb, late third, early fourth round tier of picks. Able to survive it, though, in a smaller contest. I harp on it every single week. It's actually a good conversation topic right now as everyone is complaining about their best ball portfolios. You don't have to be as perfect in these smaller contests. There is a massive difference between playing in the fullback dive with 1,100 entrants as there is with the BR with 40,000 or whatever. You're not sniffing the top 10 of the leaderboard with T. Higgins in the big BR, but you definitely can here. So congratulations to Vogie Berra on back-to-back nice weeks there with Josh Allen. Let's see. Anyone else in the chat have any top 5 finishes and stuff yesterday? I loved Underdog tossed up a couple of these smaller tournaments here. The cover 3, the cover 4. I got in those. Ended up getting 50 entries in the Wildcat. Didn't sniff anything great. There's our guy Jordan in the Discord. Had a 178 third place finish. Very nice there. My best team was an Allen to Shakir here. Chase Brown, James Conner, Mike Evans, Jonnu. But yeah, this goes back in these bigger contests, right? Like the Shakir pick with the correlation kills you, right? Because this needs to be Adams. It needs to be BTJ. It needs to be Amon-Ra. The Khalil Shakir, 13 points ain't going to cut it. Anything else to look at? Who won the double reverse? Marquise 05. Who won the extra point 2? Fins fan 561. Man, Fins fan wins without any Dolphins in his lineup. That's disingenuous usernaming right there. All right, someone wanted to talk about the pick'ems. Yes. The only thing that was very cruel about that hit was we were so close to our slop it up game stack hitting as well. I don't know if any of you guys were tilting that. We had built I got to scroll through a lot of pick'ems. This was the one that really stung yesterday. So on off and on the clock, we always build a couple game stacks. This was CeeDee Lamb, higher 64.5 receiving yards. Check. Rico Dowdle, higher 83.5 rushing yards. Check. We had Chuba Hubbard, higher than 2.5 receptions. This hit in the first quarter. Check. Adam Thielen, higher than 4.5 receptions. Check. And then one Mr. Bryce Young, 229.5 passing yards, finishes with 219. So he's 11 yards short. Throws that pick at the end of the game. They had multiple cracks at it. He throws the pick, and then it's like, all right, there's 4.5 minutes left. You know, if they can just get one stop, you know, maybe we get the ball back and we can just, you know, completely garbage time suck out this pick'em. And Zeke Elliott's on the field, gets 2 carries, and I'm like, all right, now we're cooking. Zeke Elliott. No, then Rico comes in, first down, game over. So that was tilting. But yes, this was the bomb we hit on off and on the clock. Yeah, if you tailed I made like 6 or 7 pick'ems. I posted them in the Discord. If you put, you know, $25 on all of them, you came out massively ahead, probably about a $1,000 winner. However, if you tailed all of my pick'ems over the weekend, you won less money. But always nice to hit a couple of these and get you in the green there in the pick'em streets. Yeah, the Bryce Young one was very tilting. I had the YouTube TV quad box going there. Where did my overlay go? And I had that game in the bottom left. And it was like my parents are in town, and it was like confusing them because the red zone is what the audio is on. And I'm over here like tilting Bryce Young, and they're like, wait, what is going on? I was like, I'm watching the screen in the bottom left. You see that little guy? He's about 5'10". I need him to throw 11 more passing yards. Narrator, he didn't. All right. I think that's about it on this was the one we did with Mathology. Oh my God. This one was never close because Amari Cooper didn't hit, but what was crazy is we started with Josh Allen and Jahmyr Gibbs. That we built this on After Dark, slid Josh Allen to 319, He goes 355, slid Jahmyr Gibbs to higher 49.5. And then we were kind of trying to figure out which wide receiver. Mathology liked the matchup there for Amari. This one would have been nice to hit here. I think this was a big bomb. I think this was like $50 to win 2,500. Jesus, come on, Amari. Why can't Amari do for me what he did for all of those teams that, shipped DraftKings tournaments with a 0 from him? All right. You guys want to look at best ball? You want to look at best ball? Get in our feelings. I think I only have one team advancing right now in Best Ball Mania. Let's see. Yeah, right now I only have one team. I have a lot of teams, or not a lot. I have a couple teams that were, I think, heading into Sunday Night Football. I had 4 or 5, and a few that got bounced out. A couple of mine on the fringe here, like this one is like 0.2 points back and has Bowers going tonight in 0. I haven't scored a single fantasy point, so this team should move in here. I believe this team is 3 points out and has Brock Bowers going, although Jonnu has already scored for this team. So, truth be told, guys, I'm not gonna go through all of these and figure out exactly what I need. That just sounds like a miserable time. But this is the best ball portion of the show. It is funny right now. The one team I have advancing, you can see here, it is a team we drafted on Ship Chasing on May 2nd. And I put Watson vomit emoji. And I remember this draft vividly because Pat's daughter had just been born and the entire chat was joking about how us 3 girl dads just drafted a Deshaun Watson team and how sick we felt about it. And now this is the one team that is advancing right now in my portfolio. Pretty good team. So it's Baker and Drake May. Obviously, no more Deshaun Watson. The running backs, Devon Achane, Jalen Warren, Javonte Williams, Chase Brown, Rico Dowdle. So Chase Brown and Rico Dowdle coming up huge. Then it still has Justin Jefferson to go tonight. Justin Jefferson, Mike Evans, Tank Dell, Jaden Reed, Ladd McConkey, Joshua Palmer, Javon Baker, Jalen McMillan scores for us, Mark Andrews, and Cade Otton. So pretty fun ship chasing team here as far as getting some of our 0 RB guys, Chase Brown, Rico Dowdle, a lot of offensive firepower here, and should be able to advance because let's see, looks like we need, Jefferson to score more than 14.3 points or more than 11.1 points would help boost this in. So that very funny ship chasing team there. But yeah, I just don't have it in me to go through all of these and see what I need. This was the team I drafted with Levitan. This one's way too far out. This was a Barkley team. We had Lamar, Pollard, Chase Brown. Do we have anything going tonight? Jacoby. There's Devontae Walker scoring for this team. Oh man, this team has 0 at tight end and Cole Kmet's going to tonight, and it has Jacoby Myers. So this team could actually make up some ground. You get 12 points from Cole Kmet, and you get Jacoby outscoring Devontae Walker. So that team has an outside chance of getting in. But again, there's just with 2 games tonight, there are so many fucking permutations and things in these pods that I truly don't have it in me to try to line up my sweats in these contests. I think the only other thing I was looking at, I had this team I have in the puppy 2. God, it just sounds so embarrassing to say this team I have in the puppy 2. I have this one team that's looks pretty good, scores 160 here. And I like the running back room. So it's Joe Burrow, so the quarterbacks are Joe Burrow and Baker Mayfield. Has Pacheco, James Conner, Chase Brown, Ty Chandler, Ray Davis. So obviously Conner and Chase Brown carry us here. Has Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Mike Evans, Deontay Johnson, Keon Coleman, Josh Downs, Ricky Pearsall, wait for it, Devontae Walker, and then Trey McBride, Ben Sinnott, and Mike Gesicki. I thought there was a moment yesterday when Zach Ertz got banged up that Ben Sinnott was going to get a little run. But yeah, this team, pretty healthy, all things considered. Not a ton of zeros in here. A lot of players that are live. So yeah, I like this team here. Should advance. Joe Burrow and Baker Mayfield, just alpha stacks there. with Chase and Evans definitely works out. Dude, I didn't get a single sprint. I went 0 for 20 in the sprints. 0 for 20. I mean, just dog shit play from me in the sprints. No, 0. I would show them. Trust me. I would show them to you if I had them. Literally went 0 for 20 in the sprints. Let's do some fun math. 20 times 50, $1,000 donation to the Underdog community. Yeah, that was bad. I haven't even clicked this tab. My rookies and sophomores. I can't do this. This is the thing. It's like I only have like 1 or 2 teams in all of these contests, and I just Pitbull 4. I wish it just told you like what place you were in on the screen, so I didn't have to click through to all these. How about the Chow Chow? Oh, we're advancing in the Chow Chow, guys. Can we hold in the Chow Chow? Imagine getting to add. I can see it right now. I'm going to update my bio on Twitter. Let's see. Oh, that's my tweet deck here. I just want to see. I just want to try it on for size. Can you imagine? What if it was just 4th place in the Chow Chow? God, can you just imagine how incredible that would feel to press submit on that 4th place in the Chow Chow? Advanced 0 sprint teams to the sprint. Because you got to be full disclosure. You know, you got to wear your L's along with your celebrations. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I should look at this team first. Joe Burrow and Brock Purdy, James Cook, Chase Brown, Trey Benson, Zach Charbonnet, Ray Davis, and pour one out for Jordan Mason. AJ Brown. Ooh, and we still got Drake London to go tonight. AJ Brown, Drake London, Tank Dell, T. Higgins, Keon Coleman, Ricky Pearsall, Yoshi Voss, and Tim Patrick. And then George Kittle and Mike Gesicki. Okay. So yeah, so we just need what? We need Drake London to score more than 11 points tonight, and he'll start scoring. All right. Don't let me get hot in the Chow Chow, guys. Do not let me get hot in the Chow Chow. How am I doing in the Golden 3? Ooh, we're in 2nd in the Golden 3. And we're 10 points off of 1st. And we have Kyle Pitts tonight. Although we already have 15.3 from Jonu. We have Drake London tonight as well. Okay. And Kirk Cousins. Well, Kirk Cousins is not going to outscore Jared Goff tonight. I'll tell you that much. We also have Algier. We would need him to score more than 10.2. What do we need for London to score? So we need London to outscore McMillan. We need Jonu we need London or Pitts to score, I think, 26. Yeah, that doesn't seem possible. I don't think I can peep your sprint team. I don't think I have access. Actually, no, did our guy PD? Yeah, PD made a sprint leaderboard here. All right, we'll check it out. Lamar, Kyler, Kyron, James Conner, Jalen Warren, Chase Brown, Rico Dowdle, CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Adams, Jerry Jeudy, Pop Douglas, McMillan, Greg Dortch. Greg Dortch had a moment yesterday. Yoshi Voss, Whittington, Casey Washington. God, that takes me back, Star Kindler. I remember when you were taking Casey Washington. I think the first time you did that, my head exploded. Trey McBride and Isaiah Likely. Very nice. Very nice. Good luck there in the sprint. Loved the contest. Loved the idea of it. I remember on multiple streams, I was like, man, I love the idea of the sprint sweat. That would be so fun to have a team like Star Kindlers that's like top 15 and not having to worry about pod luck in this specific tournament. And then I didn't even get one there. Not even a single. I don't even have the pleasure of getting to scroll down to a last place team in the sprint. Also, as always, shout out to Patrick Donovan. I wrote up an appreciation post for Patrick in my P.O. Box newsletter this week. I'm going to drop the link into this, writing about Patrick and all of his hard work making these sweat experiences for us. Does it all for free. If you scroll down, there is a little Venmo link here if you guys want to send him a proverbial cup of coffee for his efforts. But just as always, huge round of applause for PD making this so fun for all of us. It's greatly appreciated. Basically, as I said, putting the entire best ball sweat industrial complex on his back. So round of applause for PD. Awesome work there from him. I also have pinned in the chat, and I tweeted this out because this morning I once again log in and I see people wanting to change the structure of BBM, people complaining about it. The same thing happened last year, so I wrote a post about it. I've also seen people saying, I only see people complaining about the complaining, not the complaining. Are you fucking kidding me? Send me your email and I'll send you 19 screenshots of people bitching about pod luck, about wanting to change the structure, about all of this stuff. So it's an evergreen thing at this point. I wrote a post about it in kind of talking through expectations, a reality check, understanding what you are signing up for when you play Best Ball Mania. All of this stuff is trade-offs. Like, I come in here and I talk about the SPY, right? I want to chase the 100K top prize in the SPY or the power sweep. I know that I should be playing the smaller contests, the 500 person SPY, the 700 person, $75 3 max, these smaller contests if I want to realize an ROI. But I know what I'm getting into. I'm gunning for that top prize, and I'm not pissed when my 180 point team barely min cashes in a massive tournament. But I see it over and over again, and I don't know if it'll ever change. People want to be able to win life-changing money, but then also just have all of their teams advance to the finals. I don't really understand the thought process behind it, but I try to write about it. And I'm really honestly not writing it for the people who complain because I think they're beyond saving. It's more for the people who are new to the space or who are maybe thinking about getting into best ball and kind of just understanding these tournaments and these logistics, because there's a psychological trick to all of this seeming more attainable than it actually is. I just draft a really good team and then I will be rewarded, right? So I think just laying out how tricky and how massive these structures are to traverse successfully, and then to have a top 20 finish and, win 6 figures in Best Ball Mania, it's massive. It's absolutely massive. And there's really no excuses because Underdog has done an awesome job posting a ton of smaller contests like the Chow Chow, which I'm going to get 4th place in. So yeah, it's just remind yourself now, if you're the ones tilting the Best Ball Mania, write yourself a sticky note and say, play less BBMs and more side contests next year. It's the same thing for the BRs too, right? I was giving Davis a hard time last week or on a show. It's like, play the side contests. Like, you're devoting a lot of time to this. You're playing well, and you're going to realize your edge quicker in those smaller side contests than you are in the big BR. Like, you could literally be the best BR player on the planet and not sniff a top 10 finish this year just because of randomness and what happens in a contest with 50,000 people. So I'll get off my my step stool. It's exhausting to even have to talk about it. But I assure you, you can scroll through the timeline today. I've seen multiple tweets, multiple screenshots, people who just don't get it. So I will continue to try to do my best efforts to talk about it in a way that is not, I don't know, too condescending or whatnot, but I just see it happen every year. And so luckily now I've already written a post. You can go through and read the post, and I go through all this stuff. Might not make you feel any better, but it will be maybe the cold dose of water that you need to wake up to what BBM is. All right. Let's go see Guillotine. I'm so bummed because I am about to get the blade in my last remaining Guillotine League. Part of it is I deserve it. Because I forgot to set waivers in this league a couple of times. And I made some bad decisions this week. I ended up starting Jawan Jennings because I got spooked about kind of Tyreek Hill, and rightfully so. I played Tyreek Hill. I was spooked on all my running backs. So I had Breece Hall, I had Bucky. I didn't want to stack up Zay with Lamar in this contest where I just didn't want to finish 4th. But yeah, I bottomed out. This team I had was cooking all year. It was a Lamar Jackson Barkley team that I drafted, then picked up some pieces. I do have Aaron Jones and Brock Bowers going tonight, but I'm so far behind that it seems very unlikely that I could chase down. It looks like my projection is for 120 to 145. So I would need a generational game from Aaron Jones and Brock Bowers, and then I would need a down game from Bijan. So I guess technically not out of it, but have had a ton of fun playing Guillotine this year. Excited to play more and do some high stakes Guillotine leagues next year as well. That will help ensure that I don't forget to set waivers. Let's go ahead and see what's happening in the Deposit Kingdom League, though. We are down to 4 teams here. Let's see if we got a sweat tonight. It doesn't look like we have a sweat. It looks like our top three, Michael, Chad Candles, and Dan, are running away with it. Pitts Happens here has 80 points, and it's just not going to matter. I'm going to need basically Brock Bowers to score 50 points, it looks like, to have a chance here. So GG's to our guy Lewis here on the Deposit Kingdom, and then we're going to set up a big finish here. It is crazy to see some of these super teams at the end of Guillotine. That's obviously how the contest is structured, but Allen, Chuba, Kyron, AJ Brown, Tyreek, Connor, Josh Jacobs, and Jonnu. Very strong team there. Good luck to our Deposit Kingdom crew in the finals of the Guillotine. All right. It is 11:07 a.m. We do have ADP chasing today. Those guys will go live at 11:45. Davis is also doing a playoff best ball stream after that. So you guys can have, 5 straight hours of fantasy football content if you'd like. But what do we want to do here? Should we do a little Monday Night Football and check in on that? I can head over to Fantasy Life. I will admit I generally try to do a little bit of research on Monday Night Football. I have not had the chance to do so yet, so we can kind of talk through a few things on the fly here. I don't know if you guys have some angles you like for tonight. I always like checking out the Fantasy Life Pick 'em screener tool here that helps compare some projections. You know, my snap takes, like my macro stuff, is love the spot for the Vikings. I like it for Jefferson, Hawkinson, Aaron Jones. And then I really like the spot for the Atlanta passing game. The Raiders have turned into a bit of a pass funnel. They're just completely decimated in their secondary right now. So I do think this is kind of a sneaky bounce back spot for Kirk Cousins, for London, for Mooney. So I do like those angles. Looking here at the pick'ems, looks like we like some sacks lowers here, some lower interceptions. Michael Mayer receiving yards. Kyle Pitts higher receiving yards. Yeah, this is one of the lower Kyle Pitts receiving numbers you will see, 27.5. Might have to do some Kyle Pitts slides for old time's sake. Darnell Mooney looks good. I do like the Mooney. I like the I like the Atlanta passing game stuff. We might have to mess with some slides there. Bijan, higher receiving yards. Rome, decent amount of hires here, and then lower on the rushings. Yeah, it is like, if you have the stomach for betting on guys not to score, you can see they're a pretty good edge. Like a lot of these guys, it looks like, you know, the Fantasy Life projections putting them at like a 1 in 3 chance. Obviously you're going to get juiced to the lower on a no score, or maybe we should check. Actually curious what some of these are for a no score on, like, let's look at DJ Moore, Rome, Mooney. Let's see. So DJ Moore no score is 0.73x. Yeah, so you are going to get dinged there, but man, stacking up a few of those no scores wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. Let me see what you guys like in the chat, and then we can build a few pick'ems. My nemesis, Pete Overbet, is in the chat. We're going to have a talk later, sir. Let's run the 0RB hedge pick'em unders on Pitts, London, and Bowers. But those are the picks. I actually would have no problem running Bowers lowers. I don't feel good about Desmond Ridder being the QB, but I think I do a decent job of like segmenting off my brain from what I want to happen to what I think is going to happen. So yeah, I just don't want to fade London. I'll do Pitts lower, sure, why not? But London, I can't imagine myself trying to bet against him tonight because I think it's such a good spot. Yeah, London slide on catches looks good. Roshan anytime TD. Kyron, we're already on to what are we on to here? Over 80 fantasy points and Kittle 3+ TDs week 15. You know what? I actually have a little hedge horror story. So when I was in Dallas and I had that good BR team, I was hovering over a pick'em hedge where because I was like, what can kill me? And it was Josh Allen and Puka. And I put in one, it was a Puka TD and then Josh Allen, I think just higher fantasy points for the second half. And I was going to put a pretty good dollar amount on it. And then I just was like, man, there's so many ways this can go wrong where it's like, this doesn't hit and I still get the blade or whatever. So I didn't end up pressing it. But it would have hit. That was the Rams game. And obviously Puka scored. Josh Allen went nuts. So yeah, that's a lesson in thinking through hedging, and should have trusted my gut and pulled the trigger there. Anyways, let's look at London. I did say I wanted to do, I like doing the two-man slides. That's what I like doing here. What can we slide London to? 10 catches for London. Has he had a 10 catch game this year? I mean, he had 10 targets, 16 targets. Let's maybe take it down to 9. 3.58, 9 catches here. Or do we just let it rip? I mean, that's where we get the really good odds. Drake London there. Cousins. Probably not going to get a ton on Cousins. What's something we should play on the other side? What's something we can slide on the Raiders? Or we could just play something on the Vikings as well. I do love the spot for Jefferson. You could slide Jefferson up to like a good amount of receiving yards. That's a 93x. That's frothy. Take him down to, let's get real. Let's get in like the 50x range. Yeah, right there. The other way to slide it would be to take him to 8.5 and take Jefferson up to 140. Yeah, that gets you there. I think I kind of like that. 10 feels like a lot for London. I feel like 9. If you do 9 receptions for London and 139.5 for Jefferson. Oh, thank you there. Had 12 catches in week 5, but versus Tampa Bay. I think this is just as good, if not a better matchup. Tampa Bay's secondary has gotten a little bit better as the season's progressed too. So Roshan is out tonight. Someone was touting anytime TD and Roshan's not even playing. Come on. The problem with the slides is like the slide down is they don't give you, like, you can't get like a 5x on a slide down, you know, like 20. So they put it at 27 at, you can take it down to 19.5 and it's only a 1.33. Or receptions you can take down to, you know, lower than 1.5 and it's a 1.89. So they don't let you cook on the slides down. All right, I like this one. Maybe, how about this? Let's run this London twice. Let's do it once with an Aaron Jones slide and once with a Jefferson. Because obviously there's pathways to where London is keeping up and the passing game for the Vikings is hitting, but also the running game here. This is very much so NFA, not financial advice, DYOR, do your own research. because these are mega slides that are not likely to hit. That's how I sell you on not tailing my pick'ems, but I am just going to cook up a couple sweats for tonight. Aaron Jones, what can we do here? Aaron Jones has just been so boom or bust, which kind of lends itself well. I kind of like playing him ripping off the big play. 99.5 rush yards. Should we just cook? Should we just let Aaron Jones cook? He had 106. Aaron Jones cooking against the Chicago defense here. I love how I'm talking as if Drake London is now playing the Vikings. Let's do 119 for Aaron Jones and then maybe bring down London there. Yeah, I like that. 8 receptions for London, 120 rushing yards for Aaron Jones. Let's check the scrimmage yards just to see if we like that better. If you go back up to 8.5 receptions for him, you get up to 33. I kind of like the rushing yards, I think, for Aaron Jones. Yeah, let's just rip it in on Aaron Jones rushing yards and count on him getting a big play. 120 seems fun. And we'll take that down to 7.5. So that way London only needs 8 in this one, and that'll give us a nice 40x there. There we go. I do like Mooney. I actually would maybe what we should do is run the Aaron Jones and the Jefferson stuff with Mooney as well. Because I do like the spot. I think Mooney, we definitely play yards instead of receptions. Let's do that. I like that call, Tyler. Let's play Mooney to 100 yards, and then let's roll him. Let's roll him with the Jefferson. What does that get us to? A 43x? Yeah, so we'll do Mooney higher than 99.5 receiving yards. Jefferson higher than 129. That gets us a 43x, which is pretty clean. And then let's do it once with Aaron Jones too. Now we will cover our bases in these two. Where did my Aaron Jones rushing yards go? I like this one. Mooney, 99.5 receiving yards. Aaron Jones, 99.5 rushing yards. 40x there. All right. As always, if you guys do these, if you run any of these in the Discord, feel free to tag me. What about kicker props? The thing is, like, I'm addicted to sliders. And there aren't do they do sliders on the kickers? Let's see. You want the kicking props? Okay, you can slide the kicking points. My God, I didn't realize you could slide the kicking points. That is hilarious. Let's do a kicking slider, and then I'm ending this stream. How are we sliding these kickers? How are we sliding the kickers? I am going to do a Kyle Pitts slide just once I turn the cameras off. It's too embarrassing to do publicly. I'm going to do that in the privacy of my own home. Yeah, I know. Where are my soft pods? Once I get 4th place in the Chow Chow, everyone's going to come out of the woodwork wondering about my soft pods in the Chow Chow. Let's see. Okay, let's do on the teams. Let's do Young Ho Koo, right? What do we got for Koo? Do we want to do kicking points or field goals made? See, 3 field goals at 2x doesn't feel good. But 11, okay, and then 11 kicking points at 2.23. What do we like more? Yeah, let's do coup. I'm trying to think. 11 kicking points. What does coup normally do? 7-7-6. Yeah, he's more likely, I think, to kick field goals. 3 straight games with 2 field goals. Let's ride the coup chain. Let's play him to have 3 field goals. And then we'll play Reichard here. What has he been like lately? Less field goals, but more extra points. They won't let us slide extra points, but they'll let us do kicking points. Let's play him to 10 kicking points. This is so sad. This is Young-Ho Koo in Will Wright. This is the saddest pick 'em I've ever made. What are we doing here, guys? What are we doing? Should we slide the unders on the opposing? I can't even. Let me just take Reichard up to 11 points just so I can actually 14.56. Unreal. Unreal. You know what we should do with this? This is what we do. If we're saying Young-Ho Koo has 3 field goals, Cousins isn't throwing for 2 touchdowns, right? Take the lower on Cousins. You say Bijan scores 1 and then they stall out and they kick some field goals. Now we're up to a 24. See, now we're actually talking. And then Darnold, same thing. What's it at? 1.5 passing TDs lower, right? Actually, they're not going to let us do that because this isn't field goals. Yeah, let's lock this in. This is a 24x. We're saying Cousins doesn't get there in the red zone. Bijan scores the tutty, and then Young-Ho Koo kicks a couple of field goals. And then Will Reichard just is kicking bombs all day. There you go. The world's saddest pick 'em. I'm sure you could actually make one that is more sad than that, but this one feels pretty sad for me. And yes, please hit the like. Interest is waning down here, guys. We're down to the nitty-gritty of the fantasy season. If you're watching streams, if you're watching content at this point, you're the few, the proud, the stubborn, the sickos. But I do appreciate all you guys. And we'll keep these shows rolling, obviously, through the playoffs here. Might have some intermittent changes to scheduling, but we will keep rolling. Like I said, I'm still laser focused on winning the BR this year. So as long as those contests are in the lobby, we will keep making content and trying to gun down those top prizes. And looks like we do already have some contests available here in the lobby. Let's do one draft. I always do my very first draft here on stream, my first BR draft, and then I will save my bullets for the rest of the week. Let's see if we can check out the landscape here for week 16. And then you guys can go over and watch ADP chasing. All right. Quarterback landscape. Josh Allen, 2.4 against New England. No complaints. Hurts versus Washington. Burrow versus Cleveland. Jaden Daniels, Brock Purdy, Kyler. Sam Darnold, Goff. What's the tight end landscape looking like? We get Brock Bowers back on the main slate. McBride, Kittle, Laporta, Jonnu, Kincaid, Njoku. Running back, Barkley still the one at the top. Bijan, Chase Brown, Achane, Kyron, Connor coming off that big game and now gets Carolina. Gibbs, James Cook, JT, Montgomery, Brees, Aaron Jones, Chuba. Man, what have you done for me lately with Chuba? Goes from ADP 14 to ADP 34. Jamar Chase, Puka, Jefferson, Adams, Amon-Ra, London, Higgins, BTJ up here, 23.5. Cooper Kupp, Terry McLaurin, Jerry Jeudy, AJ Brown, Tyreek Hill. Man, what a fall from grace. Tyreek Hill, 30.9. What's up, Kevin? What are you talking about, Lewis? Could you go through strategy on picking teams? You mean for BR? So I do a weekly video on the Deposit Kingdom channel for Battle Royale specific strategy for this exact contest. This is just my first look, flying by the seat of my pants. Later in the week, I will dive in and then I share my favorite sleepers in that video. Let's take Puka. I just can't imagine fading Puka right now. Puka is just such a monster. Puka and Justin Jefferson. Seattle defense has been better, but it's Justin Jefferson. Puka and Justin Jefferson to start off. Didn't you guys hear? Wide receivers are back. The running back meta is done. Elite wide receivers are king again. No Mike Evans on this slate, though. That's a bummer. What's our Thursday night football game this week? Got to figure out what we're doing for Shipcast. Oh, God. Denver and Los Angeles. And then we get, oh, man, we have the 2 Saturday games this week. Houston at KC, Pittsburgh at Baltimore. This is where we start the streak of there's like football on every single day for the rest of our lives. One game on Monday, and then we head to week 17. This is like so dumb too. Like, I know these guys play on Saturday, but the Saturday to Wednesday turnaround, like, why can't we just let the NBA have Christmas Day? I'm not even going to be able to watch these games. Kansas City at Pittsburgh, Baltimore at Houston. This is going to kick off week 17. Then there's a Thursday game, Seattle at Chicago on the 26th. Look at this Sunday slate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's only 7 games on Sunday. So look at this. We're going to have a 6-game main slate on Sunday. That's wild. 6-game main slate. And then the Monday Night Football hammer. Oh, sorry. No. A lot of these flex games haven't been decided yet. So it'll be more than that. This is what's been finalized. I was like, are you kidding me? So they haven't even set a time for these yet. All right, I'm on the clock. I'm taking George Kittle. I'm taking George Kittle. Just let me live my life. I'm going 0 RB in this room. Let's see. Who's going to be our quarterback though? I guess we could do Brock later. Yeah, I'm proving a point here. We're going well, we could always do Darnold later. I'm probably not going to do Stafford. Should we get a third wide receiver here? I was just talking about how bad this Vegas secondary is. Brian Thomas is going to cook. Brian Thomas is going to keep cooking down this stretch. I'm going 0 RB. Puka, Justin Jefferson, Brian Thomas, George Kittle. See, Tyler says, I can't stand my in-laws. I have some respite with those games. But, like, you can't even sit and enjoy it, right? Because you're going to be at a gathering, and then you're going to be silently judged if you're over in the corner just watching football and not socializing. It's a no-win situation. I might try to go. So week 18, cash game week, the Patriots are hosting the Bills. And I've been talking with Mike Shope, the new host of ADP Chasing, and he wants to go to this game. So I haven't been to a Patriots game for a couple years now. But I think week 18, go sweat my cash shell in person. I think I might go to this game. Josh Allen versus Drake May with Mike Shope. Could be fun. Reminder, ADP Chasing is live here in about 15 minutes. Let's see. What running back do we want to do here? Look at this. Who clicked Robert Burns? What is going on here? Why does Robert Burns have an ADP? Robert Burns is currently being selected ahead of Raheem Mostert, Devin Singletary, Brian Robinson Jr., Tony Pollard, Zach Charbonnet. Announce yourself. Who selected Robert Burns? Literally have never heard of Robert Burns in my life. Someone saw that the Battle Royale just dropped, and they said, babe, I'm running to draft Robert Burns. I'm excited to watch Robert Burns play tonight. All right, I'm just going to stack up Brock with Kittle, and then we'll figure out our running back. All right, what do we want to do here? What do we want to do? What do we want to do? Maybe Garendo. Maybe we just rip it in on San Francisco. Or do we play the Q tag game? Yeah, let's flex that we know BRs, and we'll take the Q tag. We'll get ourselves a little early week optionality with the Kenny Walker click. Boom. That's how it's done, folks. That is how it's done. All right. I'm going to head out. Good luck with your best ball sweats tonight. Your pick'ems, your primetime paloozas, your showdowns, whatever else you kids are getting up to. Today, go watch ADP Chasing. You can then go watch Davis Maddox playoff best ball stream. After that, I am going to see you guys next tomorrow on the Swolecast at noon Eastern. Have a blessed day. Thank you again to producer Mark in the hopper as well. And we'll see you guys next time on the Portfolio Review. Peace.